Hi guys, this is Mia from Mimo Design Laser Files. I am back with a new version of my Fairy Light Ornaments because a star has been born. I know I told you that I would probably only make the tutorial for the trees since the assembly process is the same, but I actually did something different that I want to share with you. Besides using acrylic sheets once again on these trees, I used acetate sheet for these. But for this one, I'll just turn them off so you can see a little better. For the tree version, I used glue and glitter, and it took forever to dry. So instead, I went ahead and tried experimenting with UV resin and glitter. And this was much easier and faster to do. So in case you want to learn this little technique, stick around and watch this video. The way of assembling the star is the exact same as the Christmas tree. So I did speed up this part because I don't want to repeat it again. If you would like a step-by-step guide on how to assemble, you can watch the full guide with the Christmas tree ornaments. A little tip that I will say is that since the star isn't perfectly symmetrical, it would be an advantage to mark one of the points of the star, because when you are going to assemble, it would be easier for you to assemble the points if you did leave a little mark. You can just use a Sharpie or a marker of some sort and just make a little dot on one of the points. But although I did speed up this video, the assembly process took around 30 minutes for both. And what I will share with you in this video is how I used UV resin instead of glue for the acetate sheet method. For the acetate method, I did, of course, cut my acetate sheet by hands, but I do include a stencil in the file in case you want to cut it on a Cricut or something like that. If you do use a scissor, you use one of the parts to outline the star, and then you cut a little more off than you actually just outlined. I did cut a little too precise, so I actually had to cut off a little bit more to have my acetate sheet fit the inside of the frame. But instead of the glue, I wanted to see if it was faster to use UV resin. So I just applied a little dot of my UV resin. I will have link drop below to everything that I use. I actually have a discount code from Resiners, which is the resin that I used. Then I just took a silicone brush and I spread my resin all over on the top of the acetate sheet, or actually it is on the back of the acetate sheet. This is pretty much the exact same procedure as you do with the glue if you watched my first video with the Christmas trees. But because I do use this UV resin, I will be able to cure it in no time instead of having to wait for my glue to dry. I didn't use gloves, but I really recommend that you always do when working with resin because it is really sticky if you get it on your fingers or hands. Also, I just used a little pinching tool to hold my star in place so that I could spread out my UV resin. Before curing, I just took my glitter. I started with my chunky glitter and just added a little bit of that by applying with my fingers. And after that, I took my fine glitter and gave it a nice even coat everywhere on top of the UV resin. I did knock it off a few times to secure that it was evenly spread, and I did miss a few spots. So I actually want to be a little more perfectionistic the next time I will use this method. But this was my first try and it was really, really fast and easy. Once you are satisfied with your glitter layer, you just take your curing lamp. I'm using my resinous lamp, which I also dropped the link for below. And this has a timer, so I just set the timer and let it cure until the light turned off. Bonus was that while it was curing, I could fix my light. I hate to untangle these. It's so time consuming. But now that it is cured, this is how it looks, and I really love how easy and fast it was to cure. Also, it will feel a little thicker, which I honestly think is a good thing. I did cure my silicone tool under the lamp as well, and it is really easy to clean because you just take off the hardened UV resin. So you don't have to worry about getting glue off a brush or something like that. Also, I always use a piece of paper as an underlay so I don't have a lot of excess glitter. So all that was left for me to do now was to assemble the rest of the ornament and decide which frame should go on top of which ornament. And I don't know about you, but I will be perfectly honest to say that I was not thrilled about how my acrylic ornament looked like because the yellow acrylic might be a little too translucent compared to the glitter effects that I made with the acetate sheet. Which one is your favorite? I think they turned out really nice, both of them, but I especially love the glitter version. You could, of course, use some other acrylic, like some frosted acrylic or glitter acrylic, maybe. If you do use one of these, please, please, please show me your final results because I'd love to see your variation of my ornaments. If you want to share them with me or send them to me, you can hashtag me with Mimo Design or just tag me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want with Mimo Design laser files. But I really hope you'll have a blast making these because I really have, and I will have more editions coming up. All the files can be found in my Etsy shop, Mimo Design Laser Files. I dropped the link below. And also, I will soon be listing all my Christmas files on my website, but I just haven't had the time to do so yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next project.